Hello and welcome to another video with me, Esther from Gather and Create. And today I'm excited to show you this cute little project, well projects really, using the wood crate dies to make these cute little crates, and they also come with extras. The tag that you can see, that's another shape that comes in with it. You can see that you've got stars, tags, moon, cockerel and heart, and that coordinates with the wood words stamp set, but I'm not using that today. I'm using Bubble Over, which you can see mainly featured in this card here. It's just a cute little set that would go together, or as they're from two bundles, I have kind of designed it that they're standalone projects if you only have one or the other bundle, or don't wish to get both right now because there's too much to choose from. Yeah, so that's the Bubble Over from the Spring Summer catalogue for 2018, and in that you've got all sorts of cute imagery. This you can make it a beer bottle, Coke bottle, like I've done today with the Coca-Cola bottles. Well, other brands are available. Cola bottles, sweeties, and then I thought actually that's quite cute if I do a cola bottle with those. So it can be lemonade, it can be beer, it can be whatever takes your fancy. And then you've got labels in there, you've got the heart shapes, you've got straws, complete with the little bendy bit of the straws there, which is really cute. And that coordinates with paper that's currently in celebration. So when you spend £45 you could get the paper for free. I'm using just a little snippet of it today. But it's very, very clever because some of the papers actually coordinate with the dies, so you can cut the shapes. We've got the dies, you can cut the shapes out of the paper as well, and there's quite a nice selection in there, including some hearts if you're looking for Valentine's projects. So that's it again as a combo, and we'll get started now. I'm using the wood grain paper stack, which just works really nicely. Excuse me leaning across because that's on the other side of my table, just so I can grab those bits. Yes, the wood grain, and I'm going to use a slightly different pattern to I used. This, you can just see it's a little bit more ready, isn't it? And I love that sort of rustic oak. And these are some of the other patterns that you get in there. So really nice for all sorts of projects. That's one of my favourites in there, that whitewashed, distressed, shabby chic. That is those. So they get cut on the Big Shot. And so this is the die. You just lay it down on there like that, and then the same, but I'm not going to waste. Some of that is going to be used for the card, and there's never ever throw your scraps away. So I'm just going to be right here. You won't be able to see me, but I'm right here. I'm just on the Big Shot. Okay, so at the end of that you are left with those two pieces. I'll just grab my bone folder. Keep all my supplies in this handy little box, which is one of the wood mount stamp cases that you can order from the catalogue. Just going to move my piece of Whisper White, so we don't need that right this very second. And then you've got, you can see, probably not on the camera, but there are score lines there, so just squeeze it gently like that if you can't immediately see them. And you don't really need to burnish hugely because it is just paper. And your tabs. Again, if you just squeeze that, you'll see those come. Squeezing it gently. Little squeeze, little squeeze. Just take that off. So then you basically just need it to fit together like that. Those come up, those come up. Those come up, and that goes in there. That's how it comes together, really simply. Make sure I've got the right sides, yeah. I'm just going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue because that's really all it needs. It's paper, it's not card, it will hold together perfectly well. Plus, it gives me that little bit of wriggle room. Just always have things flat when you're working on them. And then again, as I say, you're just folding tabs. Adhesive is going on the tabs. Lid. Got very wide sleeves on today, which does not always serve me well when I'm crafting. So I tend to just dip my clothes in things. Leave my dad's shirt like we used to at school. I don't think they do that anymore. Well, I know they don't because my kids have never been asked to. We used to have to take in one of our dad's old shirts and wear it back to front if we were in art class. I don't know if they do that ever anymore. Maybe that's just being a child of the 70s. Okay. I am as usual messy. So you see, even for someone who's slightly challenged on 3D projects, like me, that was easy. The only thing I like to just do is just even, can you see how that's got like a little step on one side and not the other? I like to just snip that. Probably no one would notice, but I just like to make sure that's done. So just leave that for a moment to let the glue do its bit. And that's all there is to it for the crate. So they're really quick together, put together if you're making wedding favours or any other kind of party favours, making lots of teacher gifts. They are quick and they are easy, but they are oh so cute, especially in that wood grain paper. So we'll skip on to the card next. So I will use thick whisper white and my trimmer to create the card base, which is a cute 7.5 by 7.5 centimetres or 3 by 3 inches. So I need to cut to 7.5 centimetres here, and then 15 centimetres wide. Which then score again at 7, just a attach myself to the glue. 7.5 centimetres. Using the paler slidey thing, which is the scorer. I don't know what else to call that slidey thing. That slidey thing's quite good. Okay. So that has made the card base. This is what we're heading for. I'm going to cut the bottle out now. Just grab my crumb cake card. And I don't need any more than a scrap to do that. The smaller of the bottle dies, because you do get 2. Putting it on my big shot. I've still got my magnetic platform on there, so we'll need that soon. I may as well just have it on there for now. Wheeling it through. It does make so many creaks when it's a more simple shape. The bottle. So all those scraps you've been hoarding do come into their own. I think what I'll do is the stamping next, so then I can do all the rest of the die cutting. And I'm using Early Espresso, and the sentiments are both from the Bubble Over stamp set. I'm using Your Kindness is Most Refreshing on the bottle, and I'm going to use the thank you to put on the tag which is from the Wood Crate set. I will put everything on my blog. Descriptions are what am I trying to say? Details in the description of everything, because I know I'm using two bundles and I don't want you to get confused like I just did. So I'm going to stamp first and then die cut with Early Espresso. And then because I've got that magnetic plate on there, oh no, I don't want to do Early Espresso. I actually lied completely. I actually want to use Bermuda Bay. Wouldn't have been a disaster in Early Espresso, but I didn't want to use that. So I wanted to use Bermuda Bay. Right. Bermuda Bay. Stamping, take 2. That goes there like that. And then thank you. Now stamping also. That can go there. Could put them more close together, but let's leave it like that. So with your magnetic platform, even though I have already stamped, I can put those straight on there and they will stick where I want them to. They will wibble. The reason they wibble, I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but your magnetic platform has lots of little dots. It's not one big magnet, so the reason it does this weird going around thing is because it's just a small die and it's trying to find its dot. That's all. This can be frustrating if it's a teeny tiny die and it's disco dancing all around your platform. But that is your reason. It's not faulty, it's just the way the magnets lie. Okay, I'm just putting the other plate on top and wheeling them through. have our perfectly die cut shapes. Those to one side. I'm done with the Bermuda Bay. I am going to show you how to get the little effect on the bottle by using one of our sponge brairs and the early espresso. I do need that now. And you're just going to smoosh that along there. The sponge brayer does come with 4 other sponges. With, I don't remember if it's 4 total or 4 other sponges. I think it's 4 total. So you can just label them up somehow, your crafters. I know that you'll find a way of labeling them up nicely. So they can just be there when you need a specific colour, just go to it. So now we're just going to go over. I do want it sort of going slightly darker to lighter. There's no right and wrong with this. I quite like doing this so that I've got the darker edge. Okay. And then it looks like you've actually got a beverage in there. And now, while I've still got the residual ink, I'm going to just run that over the side of the ink, the side of the card, because I want that slightly grungy look. Easy as that. And the same for my tags and label. Just literally rolling that over the side. And although I want the white, I just didn't want it as stark white. And same with this thank you tag. Just and that's how they look once they've been sponged and grunged. Okay, I'm going to glue on my cola label. Just using the liquid glue again. Put that on there. And now I am going to use a piece of the paper on the card, and that piece is going to measure 7.5 centimetres by 2.5 centimetres. You could get a couple out of that. I'm not going to waste anything. And then I want to have, I'm going to put that aside for another day. I'll just make sure I picked up the wrong one, the right one even. That is that piece. And then I would like a piece of the Bubble Over Designer Series paper. So that's in Bermuda Bay. That is the reverse. So the dies that I was telling you about that coordinate, the bottle top ones would coordinate with that, which is really cute. And you could use some of your fine tip glue pen to make that glossy. Just leave it to dry at least overnight. This is 2 centimetres. Yes, it is. 2 centimetres by 7 centimetres. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue those bits on. So I'm going to glue the wood bit on first anyway. The Bermuda Bay needs another little special touch before that gets glued on. I think I used the other side on the crate, but hey, let's go with this. That sort of at a jaunty angle. fractionally long, but I can cut that. Don't think we need to worry, do we? Okay, now I'm going to use some of this gorgeous copper trim just around the Bermuda Bay piece. Tie that in a little bow. She says. I had a bit of a discussion with my son as to which way the bow should go. Facing inwards or outwards. I'll remind you again in a sec what I mean. He decided he liked, oh, it's slippery. He decided he liked it the way I did it. Which I'm guessing is the right answer, but he would tell me if it wasn't. Okay, this is what happens when you're crafting without your glasses on. It's not wise. You know, when you can't see. Right, there we are, a bow. Yeah, so I have it so it's facing that way, but I was just like, does it look better this way? I don't know. You have it however you want. So I'm snipping the ends, but also just pulling the ends out slightly because I like it when it does that little fraying thing. It's very nice and tactile, this copper trim. It kind of stays how it needs to stay as well. It's very well behaved. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on. Another little jaunty angle. Jaunty angles mean you don't have to worry about being straight. You can just do it wonky and say it's meant to be like that. My bottle, which I've buried, here we are, is going to go on with dimensionals, which by miracle I have right next to me. A few on there. Okay. My rubbish. And just lie that again at a jaunty angle. Yeah. So there we have that. A little crate. I'm just going to transfer my cola bottles. I used some of the shreddies from the Sweet Soiree, because I like the look of shreddies. And then I'll leave it in there. So the tag, which I have the same of, I used the linen thread. Just tied a piece of linen thread on there. I don't actually have any more cola bottles. It's not because I ate them, it's because I actually just don't have any more to show you the whole thing. But I'm going to just guess that you guys know how to fill a cellophane bag and put some copper trim around it, because that's not tricky, is it? Yeah, so that's would go on there. This is the crate we've just made with the shreddies, the cola bottles I had from before. No cola bottles have been harmed in the making of this video. That is literally all I had. Just stuck on. I quite like it when they're a little bit wayward and sticking out. We do have mini envelopes. So you could either, make a set, there we go, it fell over. you could either make a set of cards to put in there with the envelopes instead of putting sweeties in, or you could do both, or just as is, as a little appreciation for something somebody has done to you that deserves a little thank you. I'm going to thank you now for watching, and yeah, check out the blog. Everything is written down there that you need to recreate this, and have a great day. Bye for now.